So in a way, such sort of demand is a way of telling us that please accept our adharmic ways and write a book about it so that it can be scripturally sanctioned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is trying to get a stamp of authority by taking the name of a Smriti. Yeah, where the sanction does not really exist, but they want a scriptural sanction for their deviations. See, the fact is, Kali Yuga by definition is full of adharma. So everybody is functioning in this default society wherein ideal practice of dharma is impossible. But what is the honest way out? Honest way out is not that we will create a new text which will affirm all the deviations from dharma as dharma. What is the honest approach? Because why should we practice dharma? For abhyudaya nishrayasa. We are not practicing dharma for making a political statement, making a social statement, making a statement, look how good I am, right?
It's not a free pass that you can get.
Yeah, dharma is the purpose of dharma. Purpose of dharma is not to earn money or gain fame in the society or gain praise of. Purpose of dharma is abhyudaya nishrayasa. So if you want that, then you have to understand what is truly dharma. Your deviations, even if you create hundreds of books saying that deviations are dharma, it will not make it dharma. Saying is not making it, right? So you will not achieve abhyudaya nishrayasa by that.
Right. So in one of your podcasts at Sangam Talks, I was hearing, I heard you saying that text itself is functioning in a very different worldview. It is necessary to understand that worldview first. Otherwise, things said in Manusmriti will never make sense. So can we briefly talk about what is that worldview that you are referring to?
Yes, very excellent question. When I say they are functioning in a different worldview, I don't merely mean that the text was composed in a different time in history. The society was different, and today's society is different, and all that is also there. Yes, but that is only a small part of it. There are definitely descriptive portions, certain assumptions which are relevant, which were reflective of the times of the society at that time. That is all fine. But the actual worldview that I am referring to is the Dharma Shastra function in a dharmic worldview. By dharmic worldview means it is a ritualistic worldview. It is a worldview whose purpose is to facilitate all the individuals of the society towards abhyudaya and moksha. See, artha is not the concern of Dharma Shastra. Kama is not the concern of Dharma Shastra. We have Kama Shastra for that, we have Artha Shastra for that. But it is not that they are in three silos. In Kama Shastra also Dharma is invoked. In Artha Shastra also Dharma is invoked. And all of them are invoked in all other Shastras. But the primary concern of the Dharma Shastra is the dharmic perspective, is the dharmic well-being of a person. So in Manusmriti, in the very, I think the second chapter, it speaks about only when a person overcomes his addiction to artha and kama, only then he can be given the teaching of dharma. That is, only then the teaching of dharma becomes meaningful to him. So for a person who is completely in artha kama, what does it mean? It means that my question is only simply that how can I fulfill my desires more and more? I want to attain this, I want to attain career, this success, this, that, make more money, this, that, and you will be completely focused on that only. But there might come a stage when you become fed up of this. You feel that there is no meaning in it. Then this is
right now in West, I guess.
Yes, invest in corporate India. All this,
people are losing the meaning after attaining the wealth. That what was I doing this for?
Exactly.
Suicide rate and successful people in America is very high. That is for that reason particularly.
Yeah, and many from there have come to India. So many of these for American students or European students of Neem Koreli Baba, they all came to India in search of meaning only, right? So what is the search of meaning? The search of meaning is that the realization that Artha Kama is not the only thing in, there is much more than that. And that is when the dharmic teachings are given, or that is when you have the mental framework to practice dharma, to understand dharma. Thankfully for us, we have been very fortunate in this Bharata Bhumi that our rishis have given these teachings, have systematized this teaching, and we have a Guru Parampara. We have the Parampara of Idihasa Puranas, we have the Parampara in our own families, that Dharma, Upasana, Bhakti, Jnana, Karma Yoga, all these have been given to us, passed down to us as a ancestral knowledge. So we are really privileged that we have access to this. These all make sense to us in very intuitive level. But to understand Dharma Shastras, we have to go to that, we have to adopt that dharmic worldview. So that ritualistic worldview. What does it mean? That whatever Dharma Shastra is saying, be it, see, Dharma Shastras, the Smritis, etc., that their teachings can be broadly divided into three segments: Achara, Vyavahara, and Prayashchitta. So Vyavahara refers to the legal jurisprudence. Achara and that Vyavahara is a subset of Rajadharma. See, all this Rajadharma, Kshatriya Dharma, Brahmana Dharma, Vaishya Dharma, Brahmachari Dharma, Grihastha Dharma, Vanapasta Dharma, Sannyasa Dharma, all these come under Achara. And when there is deviation in the Achara, Achara means conduct. It could be individual ritualistic conduct, it could be social conduct, interpersonal conduct, conduct within the family, all of them are included. When there is deviation in conduct in Achara from the dharmic ideals, and you want to rectify that, you want to become free of the karmic demerits that you have generated, then there is Prayashchitta, expiation. So through ritualistic means, you undertake sankalpa and do certain expiation rituals. That is what Prayashchitta is. So what this means is, you have to have understanding of all this. So whenever the Manusmriti or any Smriti speaks about Achara, there is a Ihaloka and Paraloka, Drishta and Adrushta, Sukha, Swarga, Moksha, all of them are taken care of. So it is not that why it is so. So people ask, give me explanation. Rationally explain it. So the answer is already embedded in the very definition of dharma. That a certain action has been said, this is dharma, it implies that it can give you sukha, swarga, moksha. There is no other explanation needed at all. What you are asking is, actually, when you ask that question, what is the benefit here, or explain it rationally, purpose it, you are actually sidelining the purpose which has already been explained, which has already what is the word, innate in the Dharma Shastra itself. What you are actually looking at is a worldly explanation, it's an Arthakama explanation, but this is a Dharma Shastra. It has Arthakama implications. Dharma Shastras themselves say there are different types of phala: Drishta phala, Adrushta phala, Drishta Adrushta phala. So Drishta phala is what we can see with our eyes, so empirical results. Adrushta phala is non-empirical results. And then there are actions which give Drishta Adrushta results. So some elements of results are empirical, some elements of results are non-empirical. So Shastra has already given all this frameworks, these methods. So you have to be familiar with these ideas, these frameworks, and you have to adopt this Dharma Drishti. So one very good example is that I mentioned that Dharma Shastras use the framework of Varnashrama to explain society, to explain individual duties and everything. So what is this Varnashrama? It is a ritualistic framework to understand society. It is a ritualistic framework that enunciates individual duties. When I say individual duties, it is not just individual as an isolated silo, but individual who functions within a society, who functions within a family, who functions within a nation, and who is functions as inseparable part of the entire cosmos, not just a nation, but entire cosmos. And how that individual can create harmony at the social level, can create, can contribute to creating cosmic order at the cosmic level, and can travel the path of Abhyudaya Nishresa towards his own moksha, towards his own happiness. So all levels are taken into account. See, Dharma is yajna. Dharma is a yajna. It is a ritual. It is a, what does happen in yajna? We offer something. We give up something as offering to the devatas, and it in turn the yajna grants phala. This is basically karma yoga, right? You can do the sakama karma, but if you want to travel further, then you have to do nishkama karma. And content of that karma is dharma. So dharma, so we need to develop this vision of a yagika or a ritualistic world order, ritualistic social framework, contrary to what the current frameworks in sociology and all. See, when we study Varna Ashrama Dharma, people conflict Varna with caste, conflict Varna with Jati, with Kula. There are so many things, and all of them completely analyze it from a sociological, secular perspectives.
And they end up vilifying it a lot.
Yes. And there is a lot of conflation, lot of misunderstanding, lot of politicization, everything happens. But what the concern of the Dharma Shastra is not none of this. Concern of the Dharma Shastra is not economy. Concern of the Dharma Shastra, however, is that everybody is provided a means of livelihood. But it is not, it does suggest certain livelihood as being suitable for different groups of people, but it is not something set in stone. It is merely a suggestion on those parts, but its real concern is what is the path, what is the method by which a person can attain Abhyudaya Nishresa, Sukha, Swarga, Chitta Shuddhi, Moksha.
That it aligns with Swadharma.
That is what Swadharma is. Swadharma is what is that method for through which I can attain Abhyudaya Nishresa. My path will not be same as your path. Whatever is my path is called as Swadharma. Swadharma is that path which is suitable for me, that path for which I have the capability, competency, and required qualities to pursue. What is the ritualistic path? That is the path through which I can reach there. Not all paths are for everybody. Just like to practice medicine, you have to clear MBBS. To clear MBBS, you have a written test. Similarly, to attain moksha, there are different paths. But you have to see which path is suitable for you based on many considerations. That consideration could be varna, ashrama, your financial capability, or your dharmic capability, your ritualistic capability, your gunas, the qualities that you have, your temperaments, all these come into picture. So this is why Varnashrama Dharma as a framework has been used, because the concern here is Abhyudaya Nishresa. It is a ritualistic concern. By ritualistic, it means that the method, the ritualistic method that the life, according to which the parichara, here I am not using ritualistic in a very narrow sense. Like you do a fire ritual, that is ritualistic. Yes, that people understand, yajna. But whole life is a yajna. So your whole life has to be aligned to the sacred. It has to be transformed into a karma yoga. And from there comes a social order, a social vision of a society where each person is facilitated to pursue this swadharma, this path towards Abhyudaya Nishresa. That is the social vision of the Dharma Shastra. wherein the ritualistic concerns are not sidelined, rather than a secular society which says religion is separate, secular concern is separate. Here the state has a duty to ensure that all the people in the state are given space to pursue their own abhyudaya nishresa.